Hey guys, and what is up? So it's been a few weeks, but finally we are back. So therefore, welcome to episode 8 of Multiplayer Mondays, and this week's most highly requested car was the TVR Sagaris. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you for being patient with me over the past few weeks because I've not been uploading, and I know some of you come specifically to watch multiplayer videos, so I do once again say sorry for not uploading. But the good news is my exams are over and now I'm finally will be back to uploading as frequent as I was before I took a break. However, to those of you who watch every other type of video I upload, let me just remind you that we have Multiplayer Mondays on Monday, Top 5 Fails of the Week on Fridays, Subscriber Request Saturdays on Saturday of course, and I'll have other videos that will be uploaded throughout the week, and maybe some days I will have double uploads as well, as I have a bit more free time than I did, well, a lot more free time than I have had over the past couple of months. Now there's a lot I want to talk about regarding my exam stuff and all the other things, but I'll save that for a different video. I don't want to talk about that in a Multiplayer Mondays video. I want to focus more about the gameplay, as I know a lot of you want to hear about my opinions on the car and the races and get some advice out of that so you can use it, to tune your cars as well. So let's get right into that topic. First things first, this car is Max Pro, and I do not advise you to tune this car at a Max Pro rank for multiplayer. Now let me explain why. Max Proing this car puts it at a rank of the end of 1600, so around, I'm guessing, just under 1690. Now that is not a rank that you want to have for a fully tuned B-class car in multiplayer, especially at this time, because now since the Apollo Intensa has been released and everybody will be multiplayer tuning that car, you're going to come across cars like that and you are going to get absolutely destroyed. And if you want proof, look right now, my rating went down by -20. Now yes, fair enough, my driving in this race wasn't that great, but you'll see in the other 3 races I have in this episode, my driving is better, but even then I stand no chance against the Apollo Intensas. I still try and put up a fight and keep it as close as I can, but you will see that it's no match. So if you are going to use this car for multiplayer, tune it wisely. There are plenty of videos out there. All you have to do is just search it and you'll get a good reference. But I've mentioned this before, the main key thing when it comes to multiplayer tuning is tuning top speed, nitro, tires, and of course you have drivetrain. Now there's also acceleration as well for some cars that aren't that great in accelerating, but those first 4 are your main priorities. Next thing is the handling of this car. Now I find this car's handling to be very unique compared to other cars. For some reason, I don't know why, but it feels very different when I'm playing with this and I'm trying to steer. When I tilt my phone to steer left or right, sometimes it's not as responsive, or it starts very slow and then all of a sudden it'll steer very sharp to the left or right. So I don't know what it is about this car, but its handling is a bit different and it takes about a race or 2 to get used to. So yeah, just be aware of that as well. Let's talk about the top speed now. Now you see I have it at a Max Pro rank, so I can only talk about the top speed when it's a rank of Max Pro. And you see that I'm ahead of the other cars by quite a lot, and I'm keeping up with this Apollo Intensa, but even then it's no match, because like I said about his multiplayer tuning and this car being at a Max Pro rank. But it's not all bad. You see that I'm very far ahead of the other contenders, but that also entirely depends on what car they're using as well. So I can't give you a full analysis of how great this top speed is at this rank, but once again, do not tune this car at Max Pro for multiplayer. Now obviously it's not just all about the top speed as well. You see I struggle to keep up with the Apollo because of me running with single tank. Now it's not something I advise you to do. You guys already know that I love to play with single tank. I don't like using extra tanks for no reason, but nitro duration of this car is not that great. It runs out pretty quickly. I'd say it has an average or maybe slightly just under average nitro duration. So when you're playing with this car, you're gonna have to flat spin a lot or do a lot of barrel ramps or any type of tricks to preserve and maintain nitro if you want to keep up with the other cars that you come up against. Maintaining nitro duration is obviously also key on which track it is. Some tracks are shorter or longer, and you want to take those routes that have flat spin ramps or battle ramps, therefore to gain nitro and keep you at a higher speed as possible. And the acceleration of this car is pretty decent. You see at the start over here, even though I start first, I managed to maintain that lead of being first for about a few seconds before the other faster cars catch up. And you can see that those cars are obviously faster, but this car is managing to keep up for as long as it can before obviously their top speed takes into play and they start to increase the distance between myself and them. However, if you do take notice of the other cars, this car is managing to keep in front. Now, what I'm trying to say is if at a Max Pro rank against cars that are in a much better state or multiplayer rank than my car is, if this car is managing to do well, then you can realize that if you were to multiplayer tune this car very effectively, then it gives you a really good chance of, you know, winning races. Of course, it depends on how you play with the car as well. Those who are more skilled and have more experience will know how to make best use of this car in certain tracks and how to take advantage of the other cars. And if you can, with your acceleration, what you want to do is knock them down at the start, so it gives you a bit more time to get as far ahead as possible before they start to catch you up. So yeah, I think I've covered everything I want to say regarding this car in multiplayer. I hope you found that slightly informative and useful, even though of course this car has been out for ages, but I'm sure there are some people that haven't purchased this car yet or have not tuned this car yet that effectively and still have a chance to do so. That's about everything I want to say in this video. Remember, next week we are moving on to A-Class, so comment any A-Class vehicle that you'd like me to use. Bear in mind that the car that was used for the first A-Class episode, you cannot request that same car, as goes for all the other cars from the different classes. Until then, I will speak to you guys in a future video. Take care. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, leave a comment, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.
Put the place up, yeah we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye, ego I'm a taker, shaker. Yeah, she was a born shaker, she shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Something like a rose when we came out there, we settled facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes, so breaking backs, come on.